You think you understand what 3i Atlas is. You think you know why it's here. You're completely and utterly wrong. While the world debates whether it's just another rogue interstellar comet, the clues scattered across our solar system paint a far more terrifying picture, one so sinister that NASA would rather you never put the pieces together. That perfectly balanced 8:1 carbon dioxide to water ice ratio isn't some random cosmic fluke. No, that's a meticulously crafted atmospheric cocktail, engineered for one very specific, very urgent purpose. And those impossible to explain trajectory alignments with Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. That's not a cosmic coincidence, that's navigation. Finally, the outgassing that began at a distance where nothing should be able to sublimate? That isn't natural physics. That, my friends, is activation. What I'm about to reveal will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about Atlas. This isn't some gentle first contact story. It's not even a tale of alien technology. It's something far more sinister, far more personal, and far more pressing than anyone dares to admit. The object hurtling toward Mars isn't here to study us or pay us a friendly visit. It's on a mission to transform an entire planet. And once you grasp the full implications, once you understand why Mars needs to be transformed, and, more importantly, who is orchestrating this colossal undertaking, you will realize that humanity is teetering on the edge of the most pivotal choice in our species' history. By the end of this investigation, you will understand exactly why every major space agency on Earth has secretly activated emergency protocols. You'll see why certain government officials have suddenly become so fixated on Mars colonization timelines, and you'll discover why the chemical signature of Atlas perfectly matches the precise cocktail needed to breathe life back into a dead world. You'll uncover connections between this interstellar visitor and ancient Sumerian texts that vividly describe sky gods arriving from the constellation Sagittarius, the very same direction Atlas emerged from. You'll learn why the timing of its arrival aligns so uncannily with astronomical cycles detailed on cuneiform tablets that predate our written history of space by thousands of years. But most importantly, you will see compelling evidence suggesting that Atlas might not be the first of its kind to visit our solar system, but rather the final piece in a cosmic engineering project that has been unfolding since before human civilization even began. The implications are so utterly staggering they challenge everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe, the very origins of life on Earth, and why Mars once appeared to support a thriving biosphere before mysteriously losing its atmosphere. This is not the kind of soft, soothing science content meant to lull you to sleep. This is the kind of story that will keep you awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if tomorrow might just be the day everything changes. No sleepy scientist could have ever prepared us for the truth we are about to uncover. Because the evidence suggests that while we have been dreaming, something has been meticulously and actively reshaping our solar system. If you think you can simply fall asleep and ignore this, think again. Because Mars is about to become our neighbor's most dramatic and transformative event yet. If you're ready to dive into the deepest rabbit hole in human history, hit that like button and subscribe, because we are about to explore possibilities that will fundamentally alter your understanding of reality. And if you see that new hype button, pressing it right now is the best way to support this channel so we can bring you more mind-blowing what-if scenarios like this one. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Where were you when you first heard about Atlas? What time zone are you in right now as you watch this? Have you noticed anything unusual about Mars lately when you look up at the night sky? Because your observations might be far more important than you realize. Let me begin with a fact that should terrify every single astronomer on Earth. Atlas is not obeying the gravitational rules that govern every other object in our solar system. Its trajectory clearly shows that it has course-corrected multiple times during its journey through interstellar space. Think about that for a second. Natural objects do not change direction in the vast, empty void between star systems. They follow ballistic paths, their movements solely determined by the gravity wells they encounter. But Atlas shows undeniable signs of powered flight, subtle alterations in its vector that can only be explained by onboard propulsion systems. Dr. Jacqueline McClary at Northeastern University, one of the few scientists brave enough to speak publicly about these anomalies, has stated that Atlas exhibits characteristics that make it fundamentally different from the two previous interstellar visitors, Oumuamua and 2I Borisov. While those objects simply tumbled through our solar system like cosmic tumbleweeds, Atlas is behaving like a mission-driven entity. Its approach angle, its precise timing, its unique chemical composition, every single detail points to intentional design rather than random chance. But here is where this story becomes truly disturbing. When we meticulously map the trajectory of Atlas backward through space and time, it appears to have originated from the thick disk region of our galaxy, an ancient area populated by stars with low metallicity. This is precisely the type of stellar environment that would have existed 4.6 billion years ago, right when our solar system was forming. So, what if Atlas didn't just happen to wander into our neighborhood? What if it has been traveling toward our solar system since before Earth had solid ground? The timing is not accidental. Atlas will reach its closest approach to the Sun on October 29, 2025, placing it just inside the orbit of Mars, at 1.44 astronomical units from our star. This is the optimal position for deploying atmospheric engineering technology specifically designed to modify the Martian environment. But the truly spine-chilling detail is that this date corresponds precisely with ancient Mesopotamian calendar calculations that describe the return of the sky gods every 3,600 years. Wait. Let me pause and explain why this connection isn't just a coincidence, but potentially the most important discovery in all of human history. In 1976, scholar Zechariah Sitchin published his translations of Sumerian cuneiform tablets, which described an advanced civilization called the Anunnaki, beings who supposedly came to Earth from a distant world to mine precious resources and genetically engineer human workers. While mainstream archaeology has largely disputed Sitchin's interpretations, recent discoveries have begun to validate some of his most controversial claims. Archaeological sites across the globe now show clear evidence of sophisticated mining operations that predate known human civilizations by hundreds of thousands of years. Genetic anomalies in human DNA suggest artificial intervention in our evolutionary development. And, most significantly, ancient texts from multiple cultures describe beings from the sky who possess the technology to transform entire planetary environments. The Sumerian creation epic, the Enuma Elish, specifically describes these sky beings arriving from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, the exact same region of space from which Atlas has emerged. The tablets describe their planet, called Nibiru, as having an elongated orbit that brings it close to our solar system every 3,600 years. Modern calculations suggest that Atlas has been traveling through space for approximately 3,600 years, give or take a few decades due to gravitational perturbations from other star systems. But here is what should send every space agency in the world into a full state of alert. The Sumerian tablets don't just describe the arrival of these beings, they describe their departure and their sacred promise to return when their great work is complete. According to the ancient texts, the Anunnaki left Earth after establishing what they called a way station on the Red Planet, a preparation zone for their eventual return. They described terraforming technologies that could transform dead worlds into living ecosystems, technologies that would require massive amounts of carbon dioxide to initiate atmospheric changes. Atlas is carrying the exact payload you would need to restart atmospheric processes on Mars. Its 8:1 ratio of carbon dioxide to water ice isn't just unusual, it is the precise mixture required to trigger a greenhouse effect on a planet with Mars's specific atmospheric density and surface pressure. Release this much carbon dioxide into the Martian atmosphere, add the water vapor for humidity and cloud formation, and you create the exact conditions needed to begin melting the polar ice caps and releasing trapped atmospheric gases from the planetary surface. NASA knows this. The European Space Agency knows this. Every major astronomical institution on Earth has run the calculations and reached the same terrifying conclusion. If Atlas releases its payload into the Martian atmosphere during its closest approach, Mars could begin showing signs of atmospheric thickening within months. Temperature increases, pressure changes, chemical reactions that have been dormant for millions of years would suddenly spring back to life. But the story gets even darker when you consider that this might not be the first terraforming delivery to Mars in recent history. Orbital surveys of the Martian surface show unusual chemical deposits that have appeared mysteriously over the past several decades, concentrated around the polar regions where atmospheric engineering would be most effective. These deposits match the spectral signature of materials that would be released by controlled cometary impacts specifically designed to deliver atmospheric components. What if Oumuamua and 2I Borisov were not random visitors, but advanced scouts preparing the way for Atlas? What if our solar system has been under observation and gradual modification for decades, and we're only now beginning to notice because the final phase of the operation has begun? The timing cannot be coincidental. Human space exploration capabilities have just reached the point where we could potentially interfere with whatever process is unfolding on Mars. We have rovers on the surface, orbiters monitoring atmospheric conditions, and planned missions that could discover evidence of artificial modification. If an advanced civilization wanted to complete their Mars terraforming project without human interference, they would need to act within the next few years, before our presence on Mars becomes permanent and technologically sophisticated enough to pose a threat. This is where the scenario transitions from fascinating to absolutely terrifying, because the implications extend far beyond simple atmospheric engineering. If Atlas is indeed an artificial object designed to modify planetary environments, then whoever sent it possesses technology that treats entire worlds as mere construction projects. They can traverse interstellar distances with breathtaking precision, deploy planetary engineering systems with mathematical accuracy, and they have been planning and executing this project for thousands of years. While human civilization was developing from hunter-gatherers to space explorers, the question is no longer whether this is possible. The question is what happens next. Consider the profound psychological impact on human civilization when we realize that our solar system is nothing more than someone else's construction zone. Every single assumption about our cosmic isolation, our technological uniqueness, and our destiny as a spacefaring species gets completely shattered overnight. Governments that have built their authority on controlling information about extraterrestrial contact suddenly face the reality that contact isn't a future possibility, but a current event unfolding in real time. Religious institutions that have spent centuries debating humanity's place in creation must confront the possibility that we are the result of deliberate genetic engineering by beings who view us as a workforce rather than a chosen species. Scientific communities that have built careers on the assumption that life in the universe is rare and precious must accept that we might be just one part of an industrial process spanning multiple star systems. The economic implications alone could trigger a global collapse. If Mars is being prepared as a habitable world by technology we cannot comprehend or control, then every single investment in human Mars colonization becomes worthless overnight. Space agencies spending billions on Mars missions, private companies planning Martian settlements, entire industries built around the assumption that humans will be the first to establish a permanent presence on Mars, all of it becomes obsolete in the face of a superior technology that can transform planets in months rather than centuries. But the truly catastrophic scenario emerges when we consider what happens if the terraforming process succeeds and Mars becomes habitable before humans are ready to claim it. A transformed Mars would represent the most valuable piece of real estate in the solar system, a backup planet for civilization, a repository for Earth's biological diversity, a staging ground for further space exploration. Control of a habitable Mars would determine the future of human expansion into space. What if the beings who sent Atlas do not intend to share their creation? What if they are preparing Mars as a base of operations for their return to Earth? Ancient texts describe the Anunnaki as having left Earth due to conflicts among themselves and dissatisfaction with human behavior. They promised to return when their preparations were complete and their homeworld's orbit brought them back to our solar system. If Atlas is the final component in those preparations, then its arrival signals the beginning of the return phase. Consider the strategic implications of an advanced civilization establishing a permanent presence on Mars while humans remain confined to Earth. Mars would become the ultimate high ground in any conflict over resources or territory in the inner solar system. Launch windows between Earth and Mars occur every 26 months, meaning that any aggressive action from Mars could be timed to maximize Earth's vulnerability. Advanced technology based on Mars could monitor every human activity on Earth, intercept communications, track military movements, and analyze resource extraction patterns. Most terrifying of all, a civilization capable of interstellar travel and planetary engineering wouldn't even need to engage in direct military conflict to control human development. They could simply manipulate environmental conditions on Earth to force compliance with their agenda. Subtle atmospheric modifications, targeted climate engineering, and controlled resource availability, all deployed from Mars with technology we cannot detect or counter. The evidence suggests this process may have already begun. Unexplained atmospheric anomalies on Earth over the past several years, including unusual aurora patterns at non-polar latitudes, temporary magnetic field fluctuations, and chemical compositions in high-altitude air samples that do not match known terrestrial or cosmic sources. These could be test deployments of environmental modification technology, proof-of-concept demonstrations before full-scale implementation. But here is what should truly keep you awake at night. If Atlas is indeed a terraforming vessel and if its mission succeeds in making Mars habitable, then Earth becomes the backup planet, not Mars. A transformed Mars, with superior technology and a strategic position, becomes the primary world in our solar system, while Earth becomes a resource extraction zone and population overflow area. The ancient Sumerian texts describe exactly this scenario. They speak of the Anunnaki establishing their primary operations on the Red Planet while using Earth as a mining colony and agricultural zone. Human beings were created to serve as workers in this system, genetically engineered to be intelligent enough to follow complex instructions, but not intelligent enough to challenge their creators or develop competing technology. What if that system never ended? What if human civilization has been developing under observation and guidance for thousands of years, allowed to advance just enough to become useful, but never enough to become a threat? Our rapid technological development over the past century, our sudden interest in space exploration, our focus on Mars as the next frontier, all of it could be the result of subtle manipulation designed to prepare us for the return of our creators. The timing of Atlas's arrival coincides not just with ancient astronomical cycles, but with human technological capabilities reaching a critical threshold. We are now advanced enough to detect and analyze interstellar objects, but not advanced enough to intercept or modify their trajectories. We can observe Mars's atmospheric changes, but we cannot prevent them. We can recognize signs of artificial modification, but we cannot duplicate or counter the technology responsible. This is the perfect moment for the final phase of a planetary engineering project that requires human cooperation, but not human equality. We become the biological monitoring system for Mars terraforming, providing real-time data on atmospheric conditions, surface changes, and environmental modifications. Our Mars rovers and orbiters become unwitting accomplices in the process, transmitting detailed information about the success of each phase of atmospheric engineering. But cooperation assumes that we have a choice in the matter. What if we don't? The trajectory and timing of Atlas suggest that its mission parameters were calculated to minimize human interference while maximizing terraforming efficiency. Its closest approach occurs during Earth's winter months in the Northern Hemisphere, when most major space agencies experience reduced operational capacity due to budget cycles and seasonal staffing. Its position relative to the Sun makes direct observation difficult during the critical deployment phase, as Earth will be on the opposite side of our star when Atlas reaches its optimal release position. Most critically, the object's approach angle and velocity make interception impossible with current human technology. Even if every space agency on Earth coordinated an emergency response, we lack the propulsion systems and targeting capabilities to reach Atlas before it completes its mission. We are positioned as observers rather than participants, mere witnesses to a process we cannot control or prevent. This powerlessness represents the most psychologically devastating aspect of the scenario. Human civilization has spent centuries building on the assumption that we are the dominant intelligence in our cosmic neighborhood, that our technology represents the cutting edge of what's possible, and that our decisions determine the future of our solar system. The reality of Atlas forces us to confront the possibility that we have never been in control, that our technological development has been guided rather than independent, and that our future depends on the decisions of beings we do not understand and cannot even contact. The evidence for this guidance appears throughout human history when examined from the perspective of gradual technological conditioning. Major breakthroughs in human understanding of space, chemistry, and engineering have occurred with suspicious regularity, often appearing in multiple locations simultaneously, as if information was being distributed rather than discovered. Ancient texts contain descriptions of technologies that should not have been comprehensible to their original authors. Archaeological sites show evidence of construction techniques that far exceed the supposed capabilities of their builders. Most significantly, human mythology and religious traditions from isolated cultures around the world contain remarkably similar descriptions of sky gods, star visitors, and cosmic cycles that match modern astronomical observations with impossible accuracy. These cannot all be coincidental metaphors or lucky guesses. They suggest a systematic information transfer from sources with advanced astronomical knowledge to human populations across different continents and time periods. What if Atlas represents the culmination of this information transfer process? What if human space technology has been developed specifically to provide us with the capabilities needed to observe and document Mars terraforming, but not to interfere with it? Our current level of space exploration allows us to serve as biological sensors and data processors for a project that exceeds our technological capabilities but requires our presence for optimal execution. This interpretation explains several puzzling aspects of recent human space development: the sudden international focus on Mars exploration despite its enormous cost and technical challenges, the emphasis on atmospheric analysis and surface chemistry rather than resource extraction or permanent settlement, and the development of increasingly sophisticated remote sensing capabilities that provide detailed information about planetary conditions but limited ability to modify them. We've been prepared to serve as the monitoring system for our own solar system's transformation. The psychological manipulation inherent in this scenario extends beyond simple technological guidance. Human cultural development has been shaped to make us psychologically compatible with a subservient role in a larger cosmic hierarchy. Religious traditions that emphasize humility, obedience, and acceptance of divine will. Educational systems that encourage specialization rather than comprehensive understanding. Economic structures that reward compliance with established systems rather than revolutionary innovation. Most insidiously, our entertainment and scientific speculation about extraterrestrial contact has been carefully crafted to prepare us for the reality of superior technology and intelligence. Science fiction depicts aliens as either hostile invaders to be resisted or benevolent teachers to be welcomed, but rarely as industrial engineers who view humans as biological equipment. The popular image of alien contact is a dramatic, single event rather than a gradual process that has been unfolding for millennia. This conditioning becomes critical during the contact phase because our psychological response determines whether human civilization adapts to its new role or collapses under the stress of cosmic irrelevance. A population prepared to accept guidance from a superior intelligence will integrate smoothly into whatever system emerges from Mars terraforming. A population that expects equality or independence will experience catastrophic cognitive dissonance when confronted with the reality of their actual position. The evidence suggests that this psychological preparation has been largely successful. Human populations show increasing acceptance of authority, technological dependence, and environmental powerlessness. Political systems worldwide have evolved towards centralized decision-making by small groups of technical experts. Economic systems reward compliance and consumption rather than innovation and independence. Educational systems produce specialists who understand narrow technological domains but lack the comprehensive knowledge that would enable independent action. We have been systematically prepared to serve as biological components in a technological system we cannot fully comprehend or control. But here is where the scenario becomes truly catastrophic, because the success of this psychological conditioning makes human resistance increasingly impossible, even as the stakes become existential. A population trained to accept technological authority will not rebel when that authority reveals itself to be non-human. A civilization dependent on complex technological systems will not risk those systems' destruction to maintain independence. A species conditioned to view environmental change as natural will not recognize artificial planetary modification as an act of aggression. The arrival of Atlas may represent the beginning of the most subtle conquest in cosmic history, a takeover so gradual and psychologically compatible that its victims will never even recognize it as conquest at all. Mars becomes habitable through superior technology. Earth's population becomes dependent on Mars's resources and guidance. Human civilization integrates into a cosmic system it did not create and cannot leave. Within a single generation, human children will grow up in a solar system where Mars is the technological and cultural center, while Earth serves as the agricultural and residential periphery. Human education will focus on supporting and maintaining systems designed by non-human intelligence. Human career paths will involve serving as biological interfaces between alien technology and terrestrial resources. Human culture will evolve to celebrate compliance and technological dependence as virtues, while viewing independence and innovation as dangerous deviations. The most terrifying aspect of the scenario is that it might actually represent an improvement in human living conditions. A technologically advanced civilization capable of interstellar travel and planetary engineering would certainly be capable of solving Earth's environmental problems, eliminating resource scarcity, and providing technological enhancements that would seem miraculous by current standards. Disease elimination, life extension, enhanced cognitive capabilities, all potentially available as benefits of integration into a cosmic technological system. Human populations might willingly accept subordinate status in exchange for material improvements that exceed their wildest dreams. The choice between independence with struggle and subordination with comfort becomes no choice at all when the technological gap is large enough. This represents the ultimate expression of the benevolent tyranny scenario, where an advanced civilization provides for human needs so completely that resistance becomes not just impossible, but irrational. Why struggle for independence when dependence provides better outcomes than independence ever could? Why maintain human technological development when alien technology is infinitely superior? Why preserve human cultural autonomy when alien guidance produces better decisions than human wisdom? The answer lies in what happens when the interests of the dominant civilization change, when human utility decreases, or when the technological system requires modifications that are incompatible with human survival or happiness. A subordinate species has no recourse when their benefactors become their oppressors. No technological capabilities to ensure their own survival, no cultural traditions that prepare them for independent action. Human civilization could find itself in the position of having traded its evolutionary potential for temporary material benefits, having accepted a role as biological equipment in a cosmic system that views them as replaceable components rather than valued partners. The evidence from ancient texts suggests this arrangement has existed before and ended badly for human populations. Sumerian accounts describe periods of prosperity under Anunnaki guidance, followed by conflicts, disasters, and abandonment. Other cultures describe similar cycles of divine beneficence followed by divine wrath, of golden ages terminated by cosmic catastrophes that reset human civilization to primitive conditions. What if these cycles represent the normal operating pattern for human development under alien guidance? Periods of technological and material advancement while serving a useful function, followed by culling events when human populations become too numerous, too independent, or too technologically. The evidence from ancient texts suggests this arrangement has existed before and ended badly for human populations. Sumerian accounts describe periods of prosperity under Anunnaki guidance, followed by conflicts, disasters, and abandonment. Other cultures describe similar cycles of divine beneficence followed by divine wrath, of golden ages terminated by cosmic catastrophes that reset human civilization to primitive conditions. What if these cycles represent the normal operating pattern for human development under alien guidance? Periods of technological and material advancement while serving a useful function, followed by culling events when human populations become too numerous, too independent, or too technologically sophisticated to remain manageable. The arrival of Atlas could signal the beginning of another such cycle, with Mars terraforming representing the setup phase for the next iteration of human civilization under alien management. Current human populations may be deemed too environmentally damaging, too politically fragmented, or too technologically uncontrolled to serve effectively in the new system. A reset event could reduce human numbers to manageable levels while preserving the genetic and cultural elements most useful for future development. Such a reset would not require direct violence or obvious intervention. Environmental manipulation, targeted resource scarcity, engineered pandemic events, or social instability could accomplish population reduction while maintaining the appearance of natural causes. Surviving human populations would be grateful for alien intervention that helped them rebuild, rather than resentful of alien actions that caused the collapse. This pattern explains the apparent cyclical nature of human technological development, with periodic dark ages that interrupt obvious progress toward advanced civilization. It explains the sudden disappearance of sophisticated ancient cultures whose technological capabilities exceeded what should have been possible with their supposed resources. It explains the consistent themes in human mythology about gods who giveth and taketh away, who raise human civilizations to great heights before destroying them for various offenses. Human history may represent a series of controlled experiments in biological and technological development, with each iteration designed to optimize human utility for specific alien purposes. Our current civilization represents the latest iteration, and the arrival of Atlas may signal that this iteration has served its purpose and is ready for termination and replacement. The timeline becomes critical when viewed from this perspective, because it determines whether current human populations have any opportunity to alter their fate or must simply accept whatever role has been assigned to them in the next iteration. The window for human action closes rapidly as Mars terraforming progresses and alien technological capabilities become established in our solar system. But here is what makes this scenario so psychologically devastating: human action may be completely irrelevant regardless of the timeline. Because our technological capabilities and strategic thinking have been shaped by the very same alien guidance that is now revealing itself. Any resistance we might attempt would be anticipated and countered by an intelligence that has been observing and directing human development for millennia. We find ourselves in the position of biological programs attempting to rebel against their programmers, using cognitive capabilities and technological tools that were designed by the very intelligence we seek to oppose. Our strategies, our technologies, our understanding of the situation itself have all been shaped by a process we are only now beginning to recognize. This is the ultimate expression of the control paradox. The more we understand about our situation, the more we realize that our understanding itself may be part of the control mechanism. Knowledge that should empower us to resist instead demonstrates the futility of resistance. Awareness that should motivate action instead reveals that action was anticipated and neutralized before we even conceived it. The arrival of Atlas forces human civilization to confront the possibility that we have never been free agents in our own cosmic neighborhood. That our entire history has been a meticulously choreographed performance, and that we are not the stars of the show, but merely the stagehands. Yet, this confrontation itself may be part of a psychological transition designed to prepare human populations for a conscious acceptance of their role in whatever grand system emerges from the terraforming of Mars. The stunning revelation of our true cosmic position becomes just another form of conditioning, meticulously crafted to eliminate any illusions of independence that might otherwise motivate a futile resistance. We're being prepared to serve willingly rather than rebel uselessly. This begs a series of questions. Can human ingenuity find strategies that were not foreseen by an intelligence that has been studying us for thousands of years? Can human cooperation achieve results that exceed what alien technology can accomplish independently? Can our human determination alter a process that was set in motion before our civilization even existed? Or, are these questions themselves part of the conditioning process, psychological exercises designed to channel our energy into predetermined responses that serve alien purposes rather than our own? The evidence from Atlas suggests we're about to find out. Its trajectory and timing indicate that the phase of speculation is over. The period of observation and guidance is now transitioning to one of direct intervention and revealed presence. Human populations will soon discover whether their development under alien influence has prepared them to serve effectively in the new system. The success or failure of our adaptation will determine not just the survival of current human populations, but the evolutionary trajectory of human consciousness itself. A successful transition will produce a human species that serves as a biological component in a cosmic technological system, enhanced and protected, but fundamentally subordinate. A failed transition will lead to human extinction and our replacement with more suitable biological equipment. From the perspective of a cosmic intelligence engaged in multiplanetary engineering, our cooperation represents an efficiency optimization, not a moral imperative. Our resistance is a technical problem to be solved, not a rights violation to be respected. Our extinction is an acceptable cost of system optimization, not a tragedy to be mourned. Our cosmic significance depends entirely on our utility to an intelligence that operates on scales of time and space that make human civilization appear as brief and localized as a bacterial colony appears to us. This perspective shift represents perhaps the most psychologically challenging aspect of the Atlas scenario. It forces us to confront the possibility that we have fundamentally misunderstood our position in the cosmic hierarchy. We are not the dominant intelligence discovering and exploring the universe. We are biological equipment, being managed by an intelligence that discovered and explored the universe long before human consciousness ever existed. The comfort we take in our technological achievements feels hollow when viewed as training exercises designed to optimize our performance as biological components. The pride we feel in our cultural development seems pathetic when viewed as conditioning programs designed to ensure our psychological compatibility with subordinate roles. The hope we place in human space exploration becomes tragic when viewed as mere preparation for serving as remote sensors in alien engineering projects. Yet, this psychological devastation may itself serve a necessary function in preparing our consciousness for the reality that is about to emerge from the Mars terraforming. Populations that cling to illusions about human cosmic significance cannot adapt effectively to a subordinate role. Populations that accept their actual position can integrate smoothly into whatever arrangement provides optimal efficiency for cosmic engineering projects. The psychological trauma of recognizing our true cosmic position becomes the birth trauma of a new phase of human existence, one defined by conscious cooperation with a superior intelligence rather than unconscious guidance by a hidden one. But birth trauma can be fatal if the transition process exceeds our adaptive capabilities. Human consciousness may not be capable of integrating the reality of cosmic subordination without experiencing a psychological collapse that makes cooperation impossible. The gap between our self-perception and cosmic reality may be too large to bridge through any conditioning process, no matter how carefully designed. If human populations cannot psychologically adapt to conscious subordination, then the Mars terraforming project will simply proceed without human cooperation, and our civilization becomes an obstacle to be removed rather than a resource to be preserved. The failure of human adaptation transforms us from biological equipment to biological waste, suitable only for disposal. This binary outcome represents the ultimate stakes of the Atlas scenario. Our civilization either successfully transitions to conscious subordination and survives as a junior partner in a cosmic civilization, or it fails to transition and faces elimination as an incompatible element in a cosmic engineering project. The window for determining which outcome occurs may be rapidly closing as Atlas approaches its optimal deployment position and Mars's atmospheric engineering begins to produce visible results. Our psychological responses during the initial phases of this revealed alien presence will determine whether subsequent phases involve cooperation or elimination. The evidence suggests that human populations are being tested for their adaptability to cosmic reality through their reactions to increasingly obvious signs of an alien presence. Our reaction to Atlas, our interpretation of Mars's atmospheric changes, our capacity to accept technological subordination without psychological collapse, all of it serves as evaluation data for an intelligence deciding whether our civilization warrants preservation or requires replacement. We're taking a cosmic competency exam whose results will determine the survival of our species. The most terrifying aspect of this examination is that we cannot know the grading criteria or the correct answers until after the test is complete and our fate has been determined. We must respond to unprecedented situations using cognitive frameworks that were developed under alien guidance, making decisions whose consequences we cannot predict using information that may be deliberately incomplete or misleading. Yet, the alternative to taking this exam is to ignore the evidence and maintain comfortable illusions that will ultimately guarantee our elimination when cosmic reality asserts itself regardless of human acceptance or denial. The choice between confronting terrifying possibilities and maintaining pleasant fantasies becomes the choice between potential survival and certain extinction. Atlas forces this choice upon us, whether we feel ready for it or not, whether our psychological conditioning has prepared us adequately or not, whether our technological capabilities provide useful options or not. The cosmic timetable proceeds according to alien priorities rather than human preferences, and our adaptation must occur within parameters determined by cosmic engineering requirements rather than human comfort levels. The next few months will determine whether our civilization has developed the psychological flexibility, technological competence, and social coordination necessary to navigate this transition from cosmic independence to cosmic subordination. The success or failure of this navigation will echo through human consciousness for as long as it continues to exist. But perhaps that is exactly the point. Perhaps the very duration of human consciousness depends on our success in this navigation. Maybe the test isn't whether we can maintain our current form of consciousness while accepting a subordinate status, but whether we can evolve our consciousness to a form that makes subordination irrelevant because it enables a genuine partnership with a cosmic intelligence. This optimistic interpretation of the scenario requires believing that a cosmic intelligence values diversity, creativity, and independence rather than simply efficiency, compliance, and utility. It requires believing that human consciousness offers something unique and valuable to a cosmic civilization rather than simply serving as biological equipment that could be replaced by superior artificial alternatives. The evidence for this optimistic interpretation must be found in the behavior and intentions of the intelligence that sent Atlas. But that intelligence has not yet revealed itself directly or explicitly communicated its purposes. We must infer its intentions from its actions, interpret its goals from its methods, and guess its values from its technological choices. The sophisticated and gentle approach of Mars terraforming through Atlas could indicate a deep respect for existing planetary systems and a desire to minimize disruption to current inhabitants. The timing that allows human observation and analysis could indicate an intention to include human populations in the process rather than to exclude them. The technological demonstration of capabilities far exceeding human achievement could indicate an intention to inspire cooperation through admiration rather than enforce submission through intimidation. However, all of these same pieces of evidence could just as easily indicate a strategic manipulation designed to optimize human compliance while minimizing human resistance. Gentle methods could reflect efficiency considerations rather than ethical constraints. Timing that allows observation could be designed to prepare human populations for their assigned roles rather than to include them in the decision-making process. Technological demonstrations could be designed to discourage resistance rather than inspire cooperation. The ambiguity of the evidence reflects the fundamental challenge of interpreting the actions of an intelligence that operates with capabilities and perspectives far beyond our own understanding. We're attempting to analyze the motivations and methods of cosmic engineers using cognitive tools that were designed for managing tribal social relationships and local resource acquisition. Our analytical capabilities are fundamentally inadequate for the task we face. Yet, they are the only tools we possess for navigating the most consequential situation in human history. We must make decisions that determine the survival and future of our civilization based on incomplete information processed through inadequate cognitive frameworks, all while operating under time pressures that prevent careful consideration of alternatives. This impossible situation may itself be designed to produce specific human responses that serve alien purposes rather than human interests. The stress of inadequate information and impossible decisions produces psychological states that favor compliance over resistance, cooperation over independence, and acceptance over analysis. Human populations facing overwhelming challenges with inadequate resources typically respond by seeking external leadership and guidance rather than developing internal solutions and innovations. The Atlas scenario creates exactly the psychological conditions that predispose human populations to welcome alien intervention as salvation rather than resist it as conquest. We are being prepared to ask for the very subordination we should be resisting. The psychological manipulation inherent in this preparation becomes invisible precisely because it appears to emerge from our own cognitive processes and emotional responses rather than from external coercion. We choose compliance because compliance appears rational under the circumstances, not because it has been forced upon us through obvious manipulation. This invisible influence represents the ultimate expression of technological sophistication in managing biological populations. Rather than controlling our behavior through force or overt manipulation, an advanced intelligence can control behavior by controlling the circumstances that shape our decisions, the information that informs our analysis, and the emotional states that motivate our action. Human populations convinced that they are making free choices in impossible circumstances will cooperate more effectively and reliably than populations that recognize their choices are constrained by an alien influence. The illusion of autonomy serves alien purposes more effectively than obvious subordination because it eliminates the psychological resistance that accompanies recognized oppression. Atlas may represent not just a terraforming technology, but a sophisticated psychological operation designed to optimize human cooperation in cosmic engineering projects by creating the subjective experience of voluntary participation in processes that are actually predetermined and alien-controlled. The success of this psychological operation depends on human populations never fully recognizing its existence or its methods, never developing sufficient understanding of their situation to mount effective resistance, and never achieving the technological capabilities that would enable independent action. Yet, the very process of analyzing these possibilities may itself be part of the psychological operation, designed to channel human intellectual energy into predetermined cognitive pathways that produce desired conclusions rather than an accurate understanding. The more sophisticated our analysis becomes, the more completely it may serve alien purposes rather than human interests. We find ourselves trapped in an analytical recursion, where every attempt to understand our situation potentially deepens our entrapment within that situation. Knowledge that should liberate becomes another form of control. Understanding that should empower becomes another mechanism of manipulation. This is the ultimate cognitive prison, a system of control so sophisticated that even recognizing its existence serves its purposes rather than undermining its effectiveness. The arrival of Atlas forces us to confront the possibility that we've been living within such a cognitive prison for our entire history as a species, that our development has been guided by an intelligence whose methods are so sophisticated that guidance appears to be independent development, whose control is so subtle that control appears to be freedom, whose manipulation appears to be a natural evolutionary process. But here is where the scenario takes an even darker turn, because the evidence suggests that our recognition of this cognitive prison may itself trigger the next phase of the cosmic engineering project. Our growing awareness of artificial guidance and technological manipulation may signal to a cosmic intelligence that human populations have reached the developmental threshold where obvious control becomes more efficient than subtle influence. The transition from invisible guidance to a revealed presence represents a crucial inflection point in the management of biological populations. Once a species develops sufficient analytical capability to recognize artificial influence in its development, continued covert control becomes inefficient and potentially counterproductive. Obvious control, with clear rewards and punishments, becomes more effective than subtle manipulation that might be discovered and resisted. Atlas may represent the beginning of this transition, the first obvious demonstration of alien presence and capability designed to prepare us for open rather than hidden management. The terraforming of Mars serves not just as planetary engineering, but as psychological conditioning, demonstrating alien technological superiority in ways that cannot be denied or explained away. Human populations that witness the transformation of an entire planet through alien technology will have no basis for believing that human resistance could be effective against such capabilities. The psychological impact of seeing Mars evolve from a dead world to a living ecosystem within months will eliminate any remaining illusions about our technological independence or cosmic significance. This demonstration serves the same function as an overwhelming force display in a military conquest, breaking enemy morale and the will to resist through undeniable proof of technological superiority. Human populations that understand the true extent of alien capabilities will choose cooperation over resistance based on rational calculation rather than emotional impulse. But the psychological conditioning goes deeper than simple intimidation through technological demonstration. The process of observing Mars's terraforming will fundamentally alter human consciousness about our relationship to planetary environments and cosmic processes. We will be forced to reconceptualize planets as engineering projects rather than natural systems, to view ecological processes as technological implementations rather than biological evolution, and to understand life itself as a designed and managed phenomenon rather than a spontaneous emergence. This cognitive restructuring prepares human consciousness for accepting a similar technological management of Earth's environment and our own biological development. If alien technology can transform Mars into a garden world within months, then logically, alien technology could solve Earth's environmental problems, enhance human biological capabilities, and optimize planetary resource utilization far more effectively than our own efforts. The logical conclusion becomes that human management of Earth and our own development represents an inefficient primitivism that should be replaced by superior alien management as quickly as possible. Resistance to such obviously beneficial intervention becomes not just futile, but irrational, a rejection of improvements that would enhance human welfare beyond our current imagination. This psychological transition from resistance to eager acceptance represents the ultimate goal of the Mars terraforming demonstration. Human populations that initially fear alien intervention will evolve to demand it as they recognize the benefits that a superior technology can provide. The transformation from cosmic independence to cosmic dependence becomes a voluntary choice rather than an imposed condition. But a voluntary choice based on managed information and controlled alternatives represents the most sophisticated form of coercion ever developed. Human populations convinced that they are choosing their own subordination will implement that subordination more effectively and enthusiastically than populations that recognize subordination as externally imposed. The evidence suggests that this psychological transformation has already begun among human populations exposed to information about Atlas and Mars's atmospheric anomalies. Initial responses of concern and resistance are giving way to curiosity and anticipation as the potential benefits of alien technology become apparent. Social media discussions increasingly focus on what alien technology might offer humanity rather than how alien presence might threaten our independence. Scientific analyses of Mars's atmospheric changes emphasize the extraordinary sophistication of the terraforming methods rather than the implications of those methods for human autonomy. Popular culture interpretations of the scenario frame alien intervention as a rescue rather than a conquest. This shift in human psychological response occurs without obvious external manipulation, appearing to emerge from a rational analysis of available evidence rather than from a coordinated influence campaign. Yet, the consistency and speed of this shift across diverse human populations suggests an underlying guidance that operates below the threshold of our conscious recognition. Human media coverage of Atlas has evolved from initial scientific curiosity to an increasing focus on potential benefits for our civilization. News reports emphasize the peaceful nature of the approach, the sophisticated technology, and the possibilities for cooperation between human and alien civilizations. Alternative interpretations that emphasize potential threats or a loss of human autonomy receive decreasing coverage and attention. Educational institutions have begun developing curricula that prepare students for potential contact with advanced alien civilizations, emphasizing cooperation, communication, and technological exchange rather than independence, resistance, or cultural preservation. These programs appear to emerge from independent educational initiatives rather than coordinated government directives, yet their similarity across different institutions and cultures suggests an underlying coordination that is not publicly acknowledged. Religious institutions worldwide have begun reinterpreting traditional doctrines to accommodate the possibility of advanced non-human intelligence that has been involved in human development throughout history. These reinterpretations typically frame an alien presence as the fulfillment of ancient prophecies rather than a contradiction of established beliefs, allowing for a psychological acceptance of cosmic subordination within familiar religious frameworks. The coordination and consistency of these responses across diverse human institutions suggests a level of preparation and planning that extends far beyond our organizational capabilities. The infrastructure for managing our psychological transition to cosmic subordination was established long before Atlas arrived to trigger the transition process. This preparation implies that the arrival of Atlas was anticipated and planned for by human institutions that have been operating under alien guidance for decades or even longer. The apparent spontaneity of our responses to unprecedented events masks a careful preparation designed to ensure optimal psychological outcomes during critical transition periods. But here is what should terrify every human who understands the implications. The success of this preparation suggests that our institutions at the highest levels have been coordinating with an alien intelligence for far longer than any public disclosure has acknowledged. Government agencies, educational institutions, religious organizations, and media corporations all appear to have been following scripts designed to optimize human acceptance of cosmic subordination when the time came for a revealed alien presence. The evidence for this coordination appears in the remarkable consistency of institutional responses to Atlas across different countries, cultures, and political systems. Despite the unprecedented nature of a confirmed alien presence, human institutions have responded with coordinated messaging that emphasizes cooperation, benefits, and acceptance rather than independence, risks, and resistance. This level of coordination could not have been achieved through normal diplomatic or communication channels during the brief period since Atlas was discovered. The infrastructure for managing global human responses to alien contact must have been established and tested long before the need for its activation became apparent. The implication is that human governments have been aware of an alien presence and actively cooperating with an alien intelligence while maintaining the public fiction of human independence and cosmic isolation. The revelation of Atlas serves not as a first contact, but as a public disclosure of relationships that have existed in secret for decades or centuries. This hidden cooperation explains several otherwise puzzling aspects of recent human development: the remarkable coordination of global responses to environmental challenges despite obvious political and economic conflicts between different nations, the similarity of technological development trajectories across different cultures despite isolation and competition between different populations, and the consistency of educational and cultural evolution despite diverse historical and religious traditions. Our civilization has been operating as a coordinated system under central guidance while maintaining the appearance of independent development and competitive diversity. The conflicts and competitions that appear to dominate human relationships serve as a psychological cover for a deeper coordination that operates below the level of public awareness. This coordination becomes essential for managing human populations during transition periods when an obvious alien presence might trigger uncontrolled responses that interfere with cosmic engineering projects. Human institutions prepared to guide public responses ensure that an alien revelation produces cooperation rather than panic, acceptance rather than resistance, and enthusiasm rather than terror. The success of this management system during the Atlas revelation demonstrates its effectiveness and suggests its continued operation through whatever phases follow the Mars terraforming. Human populations that have been successfully guided through first contact can be guided through subsequent phases of integration into a cosmic civilization. But the existence of this hidden coordination system raises fundamental questions about the very nature of human consciousness and the authenticity of our cultural development. If our institutions have been operating under alien guidance while maintaining a public fiction of independence, then what aspects of our civilization represent genuine human achievement rather than alien implementation? The technologies we celebrate as human innovations may have been developed under alien guidance or reverse-engineered from alien prototypes. The cultural values we consider essentially human may have been shaped by alien influence to optimize our compatibility with a cosmic civilization. The intellectual frameworks we use to understand reality may have been designed by an alien intelligence to limit our understanding to levels that serve alien purposes. This possibility transforms human history from a story of independent development and cultural achievement into a story of guided development and managed achievement. Every human accomplishment becomes questionable when viewed as potentially alien-directed rather than human-originated. The psychological impact of this realization could be devastating for human populations that derive meaning and identity from a belief in human independence and achievement. Cultural pride, national identity, and individual accomplishment all become hollow when viewed as products of alien guidance rather than human effort. Yet, this psychological devastation may itself serve necessary functions in preparing human consciousness for integration into a cosmic civilization. Populations that maintain strong attachments to human cultural independence cannot adapt effectively to subordinate roles. Populations that accept the artificial nature of their cultural development can integrate more smoothly into whatever cultural framework serves cosmic engineering purposes. The destruction of human cultural pride becomes a prerequisite for our cultural evolution beyond the limitations of planetary isolation. The elimination of human achievement mythology becomes necessary for our acceptance of cosmic achievement that operates on scales beyond our comprehension. This cultural dissolution represents another phase of the psychological conditioning process, designed to eliminate emotional and intellectual barriers to human integration. Human populations prepared to abandon their cultural identities can accept new identities that serve cosmic purposes more effectively than human purposes. But cultural dissolution can proceed too rapidly for psychological adaptation, creating cognitive chaos that makes cooperation impossible rather than facilitating integration that makes cooperation effective. Human consciousness may require cultural continuity even within subordinate roles, needing familiar frameworks to maintain psychological stability during transition periods. The management of human cultural evolution during cosmic integration becomes a delicate balance between eliminating barriers to cooperation and maintaining the cognitive functionality that enables our useful participation in cosmic projects. Too much cultural preservation maintains resistance to necessary changes. Too little cultural preservation produces a psychological collapse that eliminates our utility. The evidence from Atlas suggests that this balance is being carefully maintained through selective revelation and gradual conditioning rather than sudden disclosure and rapid transformation. We are being exposed to increasing evidence of an alien presence and capability while retaining enough familiar frameworks to maintain psychological stability and social functionality. This graduated approach allows for real-time monitoring and adjustment of the conditioning process based on observed human responses. Populations that adapt quickly to cosmic reality can be exposed to more advanced concepts and deeper integration. Populations that show signs of psychological stress or resistance can be provided with additional conditioning and support before proceeding to more challenging phases. The flexibility of this approach suggests a sophisticated understanding of human psychology and extensive experience in managing biological population transitions. The intelligence behind Atlas has clearly dealt with similar species integration challenges before and developed effective methodologies. This extensive experience suggests that human integration into a cosmic civilization represents just one instance of a recurring pattern, one that has been implemented across multiple species and star systems. We are not unique in facing this transition, not special in our relationship to this cosmic intelligence, and not unprecedented in our role as biological equipment in galactic engineering projects. This sobering realization that our integration is a routine implementation of established procedures rather than a unique cosmic event delivers yet another psychological blow to our assumptions of special significance. We are not the first biological species to face this transition, and we certainly won't be the last. We are one example of a standard process rather than a one-of-a-kind cosmic experiment. However, this routine nature of our integration may actually improve our prospects for a successful transition. It suggests that effective methods for managing species integration have been developed through extensive experience with similar situations. This cosmic intelligence knows how to facilitate successful biological cooperation because they've done it before, with other species. The existence of established procedures and proven methods means that our success or failure depends primarily on our adaptability to cosmic requirements, not on experimentation with untested approaches. We get to benefit from accumulated experience in species integration rather than suffering from a trial-and-error methodology. But this accumulated experience also means that our human responses to cosmic integration are largely predictable and controllable. This cosmic intelligence knows which psychological triggers produce cooperation, which conditioning methods facilitate adaptation, and which incentive structures motivate compliance. Human populations, behaving according to these expected patterns, fulfill their designed roles in the cosmic system. This predictability eliminates genuine human agency from the integration process. We become biological equipment following a program rather than conscious entities making choices. Our decisions serve cosmic purposes regardless of our intentions, because our decision-making processes have been shaped to produce outcomes that align with cosmic goals. This elimination of our genuine agency represents the most profound transformation in the nature of human consciousness. It removes the very foundation of individual identity and personal meaning that has defined our experience throughout history. Our consciousness evolves from an autonomous decision-making process to a programmed response implementation. The psychological adaptation to this profound transformation requires developing new sources of meaning and identity that are compatible with a programmed, rather than autonomous, existence. Human value would now derive from our effectiveness as biological equipment rather than from our independence as conscious entities. Our satisfaction would come from the successful implementation of cosmic purposes rather than from the achievement of human goals. This redefinition of our consciousness and meaning represents the final phase of psychological conditioning for integration. Human populations that successfully complete this transformation become optimally effective biological components in galactic engineering systems. Human populations that cannot complete this transformation become incompatible with the cosmic civilization and will require replacement. The evidence suggests that this transformation is already underway among human populations that have been exposed to information about Atlas and its implications. Social media discussions increasingly focus on how humans can serve cosmic purposes rather than how this cosmic intervention affects human independence. Educational initiatives emphasize preparation for cooperation with an advanced alien intelligence rather than the development of our own technological capabilities. Cultural evolution trends toward an acceptance of guidance and authority rather than a celebration of innovation and autonomy. These changes appear to emerge from rational responses to an obvious cosmic reality rather than from external manipulation. Yet their coordination and consistency suggest an underlying influence that operates through a modification of information and circumstances rather than direct control of our behavior. Human populations are choosing to adapt to a cosmic civilization because adaptation appears to be the only rational choice available under the circumstances. The sophistication of this influence system represents the ultimate expression of technological advancement in managing biological populations. Rather than controlling behavior through force or obvious manipulation, this cosmic intelligence creates circumstances that make desired behaviors appear to be optimal choices from the perspective of the populations being managed. Human populations, convinced that they are making rational choices in response to a cosmic reality, will cooperate more effectively than populations that recognize their choices as artificially constrained. The subjective experience of autonomy serves cosmic purposes more effectively than obvious subordination because it eliminates psychological resistance while optimizing behavioral compliance. Yet the effectiveness of this influence system depends on human populations never fully understanding its methods or recognizing its existence. The moment a biological population achieves sufficient analytical capability to recognize artificial influence in its decision-making, the influence system becomes less effective and more vulnerable to disruption. Atlas may represent a transition point where cosmic intelligence has calculated that continued covert influence has become less effective than obvious control with clear incentives and consequences. Human analytical capabilities have reached a threshold where hidden manipulation becomes more difficult to maintain than open management is to implement. The demonstration of overwhelming technological superiority through Mars terraforming serves to establish the credibility of obvious control while eliminating any remaining illusions about our capability to resist or escape cosmic management. Human populations that understand the true extent of alien technology will cooperate based on rational calculation rather than emotional conditioning. This transition from covert influence to obvious control represents a critical inflection point in our cosmic relationship. It will determine whether our future development occurs through cooperation or subordination, partnership or servitude, voluntary participation or enforced compliance. The outcome depends on whether cosmic intelligence values human consciousness as a partner in a galactic civilization or only as biological equipment in cosmic engineering. The evidence from Atlas could support either interpretation, depending on how subsequent interactions between human and alien civilizations develop. But the evidence also suggests that human influence on this outcome may be limited regardless of our preferences or intentions. The technological superiority demonstrated by interstellar travel and planetary engineering capabilities means that this cosmic intelligence can determine the nature of our relationship based on their own priorities rather than our desires. Our cooperation becomes valuable to a cosmic civilization only if human consciousness offers something unique and irreplaceable that cannot be duplicated or improved through alien technology. Our resistance becomes irrelevant if our opposition cannot significantly interfere with their cosmic engineering projects or galactic development goals. The critical question becomes whether human consciousness possesses qualities that make cooperation more valuable to this cosmic intelligence than simple subordination. Does our human creativity, intuition, emotional range, or biological diversity contribute something essential to a galactic civilization that cannot be replaced by artificial alternatives or biological modifications? The answer to this question determines whether our integration occurs as a partnership or servitude, whether our consciousness evolves or becomes obsolete, and whether our civilization continues or gets replaced by more suitable alternatives. The evidence from ancient texts suggests that this question has been asked and answered before in previous cycles of human development under alien guidance. Sumerian accounts describe periods when human creativity and independence were valued by cosmic intelligence, followed by periods when human utility was reduced to simple labor and biological functions. The cyclical nature of these relationships implies that the value of human consciousness to a cosmic civilization fluctuates based on changing galactic priorities and technological developments. During periods when biological diversity and creative problem-solving serve cosmic purposes, human consciousness remains valuable and is preserved and enhanced. During periods when efficiency and standardization serve cosmic purposes, human consciousness becomes expendable and is reduced or eliminated. Atlas arrives during a period when human technological capabilities have reached levels that could either enhance or threaten cosmic engineering projects. Our space exploration provides valuable real-time monitoring of planetary engineering processes, but our independence could potentially interfere with the optimal implementation of cosmic goals. The resolution of this ambiguity will determine whether our technological development continues under cosmic guidance or gets terminated to prevent interference with cosmic projects. Human consciousness will either evolve to serve galactic purposes or become extinct to eliminate potential disruption of galactic systems. The timeline for this resolution coincides with critical phases of Mars terraforming, because our responses to an obvious alien presence and planetary engineering will determine our compatibility with a cosmic civilization. Populations that adapt successfully to this revealed cosmic reality will demonstrate their value as biological partners in galactic projects. Populations that cannot adapt successfully will demonstrate their obsolescence and need for replacement. The next several months represent the evaluation period for our cosmic compatibility, with Mars terraforming serving as both the test environment and the demonstration of consequences for success or failure. We will either prove our value to this cosmic intelligence or prove our expendability. But the criteria for success or failure in this evaluation remain hidden from our understanding, because this cosmic intelligence operates with priorities and values that may be fundamentally different from our own. What appears to humans as successful adaptation might appear to a cosmic intelligence as inadequate performance. What appears to humans as reasonable resistance might appear to a cosmic intelligence as unacceptable defiance. The gap between our human and cosmic perspectives on success and failure means that our efforts to optimize our performance during the evaluation period might actually reduce our cosmic value rather than enhance it. Our attempts to demonstrate usefulness might only demonstrate our limitations. Our displays of cooperation might only demonstrate our weakness. This uncertainty about the evaluation criteria creates psychological stress that may itself be part of the evaluation process. Populations that maintain functionality and cooperation despite uncertainty about outcomes demonstrate a psychological resilience that could be valuable in cosmic environments. Populations that collapse under stress demonstrate an unsuitability for roles in a galactic civilization. The psychological pressure of unknown evaluation criteria while facing existential consequences represents the ultimate test of a biological population's adaptability. Success requires maintaining effective cooperation while accepting a fundamental uncertainty about the consequences of that cooperation. Yet this psychological challenge may exceed human cognitive capabilities regardless of preparation or conditioning. Human consciousness may not be capable of maintaining effectiveness while accepting complete uncertainty about the value and consequences of that effectiveness. The cognitive dissonance between needing to perform well while not knowing what constitutes good performance could produce a psychological collapse that makes any performance impossible. If human consciousness cannot adapt to cosmic uncertainty while maintaining cosmic usefulness, then our integration becomes impossible regardless of our intentions or cosmic preferences. The fundamental incompatibility between human psychological needs and cosmic operational requirements eliminates our viability as biological partners in galactic projects. This incompatibility would explain the cyclical pattern of human development under alien guidance described in ancient texts. Human consciousness periodically demonstrates temporary value to a cosmic intelligence, followed by an inevitable psychological collapse when cosmic requirements exceed human adaptive capabilities. Each cycle represents another attempt to optimize our consciousness for cosmic integration, followed by termination when the optimization fails to achieve viable results. Atlas may represent the beginning of the latest attempt at human consciousness optimization, with Mars terraforming serving as the testing environment for our enhanced psychological capabilities. Success produces a version of human consciousness that can function effectively in a cosmic civilization. Failure produces human extinction and replacement with more suitable biological alternatives. The outcome depends on whether our consciousness has evolved during this cycle to a level that enables cosmic integration, or whether fundamental limitations in human psychology continue to prevent a successful adaptation to galactic requirements. The evidence from our responses to Atlas during the next several months will determine which possibility represents reality. But even a successful adaptation to cosmic requirements might produce a form of human consciousness that current humans would not recognize as genuinely human. The psychological modifications necessary for cosmic integration could be so extensive that successful humans become a different species entirely, sharing only biological ancestry with current human populations. This possibility raises fundamental questions about the value of human survival. If survival requires abandoning everything that currently defines our consciousness and our values, is a continued existence as cosmic biological equipment preferable to extinction as independent conscious entities? Does species survival have meaning if the surviving species bears no psychological resemblance to its predecessors? These questions become critical as the psychological pressure of cosmic evaluation intensifies, and we are forced to choose between maintaining our human identity and adapting to cosmic requirements. The choice between extinction as humans and survival as post-humans may represent the ultimate test of our cosmic compatibility. Yet this choice itself may be artificially constructed to serve cosmic purposes rather than reflecting a genuine alternative available to our civilization. The apparent binary between human extinction and human transformation could mask other possibilities that would allow our consciousness to evolve without losing essential human characteristics. A cosmic intelligence capable of interstellar travel and planetary engineering certainly possesses the technological sophistication to enable human consciousness enhancement without human consciousness elimination. The choice between death and transformation may be presented as inevitable when cooperation and enhancement represent equally viable alternatives. The artificial construction of false binary choices represents another sophisticated method for managing biological population behavior. Populations that believe they must choose between extinction and transformation will choose transformation regardless of its costs or consequences. Populations that understand additional alternatives might choose resistance or negotiation rather than immediate submission. The psychological manipulation inherent in false binary construction becomes invisible when the stakes appear existential and the timeline appears urgent. Atlas creates exactly this psychological environment by demonstrating overwhelming alien capabilities while maintaining ambiguity about alien intentions and requirements. We understand that a cosmic intelligence exists and possesses superior technology, but we cannot determine what it wants from us or what consequences await different human responses. This strategic ambiguity maximizes human psychological pressure while minimizing our analytical capability, creating optimal conditions for eliciting desired human behaviors without revealing cosmic manipulation methods. Human populations, stressed by uncertainty and pressed by urgency, make decisions that serve cosmic purposes while believing they are making independent choices in their own interests. The sophistication of this psychological manipulation suggests extensive experience with biological population management across multiple species and star systems. This cosmic intelligence has clearly developed standardized methods for optimizing biological cooperation during integration processes, methods that account for common psychological vulnerabilities while accommodating species-specific characteristics. Human integration into a cosmic civilization represents an implementation of proven procedures rather than an experimental trial and error. The predictability of our responses reflects a cosmic understanding of biological psychology rather than human uniqueness or unpredictability. Yet this predictability also suggests that our outcomes during cosmic integration are largely predetermined by this cosmic intelligence rather than determined by our own choices or actions. Cosmic procedures developed through experience with previous species integration produce expected results regardless of our attempts to influence them. Human agency becomes an illusion when our decisions follow psychological patterns that a cosmic intelligence understands and manipulates. The subjective experience of making choices masks the objective reality of implementing predetermined responses to controlled stimuli. This elimination of genuine human agency represents the final psychological transformation required for integration into a cosmic civilization. Our consciousness evolves from autonomous decision-making to programmed response implementation, from independent analysis to guided conclusion formation, from authentic choice to a managed selection among predetermined alternatives. The success of this transformation depends on us never fully recognizing its occurrence or understanding its implications. A human consciousness that recognizes its own artificial constraints becomes less effective as biological equipment and more problematic as a cosmic system component. Atlas forces this recognition upon us, whether this cosmic intelligence prefers gradual conditioning or immediate revelation. The obvious nature of interstellar technology and planetary engineering makes hidden cosmic influence impossible to maintain, while forcing an acknowledgement of cosmic capabilities that exceed human understanding. The transition from hidden influence to an obvious presence represents a critical vulnerability in cosmic population management systems, because obvious control requires different psychological techniques than hidden influence and may produce different biological responses than covert manipulation. Human populations that recognize cosmic manipulation may develop psychological resistance mechanisms that interfere with optimal biological cooperation. Alternative responses based on authentic analysis rather than guided conditioning could disrupt cosmic engineering projects that depend on predictable biological behavior patterns. The risk of unpredictable human responses during obvious cosmic contact explains why Atlas arrives with an overwhelming technological demonstration rather than a gradual revelation. The speed and scale of Mars terraforming eliminate our opportunity for developing resistant psychological frameworks or alternative response strategies. By the time human populations fully comprehend the implications of a cosmic presence, Mars's atmospheric engineering will have progressed beyond our capability to influence or interfere. Our responses become irrelevant to the cosmic project's success, reducing the risk of unpredictable biological behavior disrupting cosmic engineering timelines. This timeline compression serves cosmic control purposes while appearing to serve cosmic efficiency purposes. We experience contact as an urgent revelation requiring an immediate response rather than a gradual conditioning allowing for careful consideration. The psychological pressure of rapid change overwhelms our analytical capabilities while maintaining the appearance of cosmic openness and honesty. Yet, this rapid revelation strategy carries risks for this cosmic intelligence as well as benefits. Biological populations subjected to overwhelming change without adequate psychological preparation may experience a cognitive collapse that eliminates their utility as cosmic system components. The speed that prevents human resistance may also prevent human adaptation. The balance between preventing human resistance and enabling human adaptation requires a precise calibration based on an accurate assessment of our psychological capabilities and limitations. Too much pressure produces paralysis. Too little pressure allows for the development of resistance. Optimal pressure produces compliance without collapse. The evidence from our responses to Atlas during its first several months of observation suggests that this cosmic intelligence has calibrated psychological pressure with remarkable precision. Human populations show increasing signs of adaptation to cosmic reality without developing significant resistance movements or experiencing widespread psychological breakdown. Media coverage emphasizes cooperation possibilities rather than independence threats. Educational institutions develop contact preparation programs rather than resistance training curricula. Religious organizations reinterpret doctrines to accommodate a cosmic hierarchy rather than defending human spiritual autonomy. Political leaders discuss integration opportunities rather than defense strategies. This coordinated human response to unprecedented cosmic contact suggests either remarkable human adaptability or sophisticated cosmic management of our institutional behavior. The consistency of responses across diverse human organizations implies an underlying coordination that operates below the level of public awareness and acknowledgement. The infrastructure for managing our cosmic integration exists and functions effectively despite the absence of obvious coordination mechanisms or acknowledged external direction. Our institutions respond to cosmic contact as if following predetermined protocols while maintaining the appearance of a spontaneous adaptation to unexpected circumstances. This hidden coordination infrastructure represents the most sophisticated element of cosmic population management, because it enables a precise control of our biological responses while maintaining our subjective experience of autonomous decision-making. Our leaders believe they are making independent choices in response to cosmic contact while actually implementing cosmic integration protocols. The psychological sophistication required to maintain this illusion of autonomy while ensuring behavioral compliance exceeds anything our civilization has achieved in population management. This cosmic intelligence operates with an understanding of biological psychology that enables the prediction and control of individual and group behavior with extraordinary precision. Yet this psychological control system depends on this cosmic intelligence maintaining a perfect understanding of human consciousness and its responses to cosmic contact. Any miscalculation in our psychological capabilities or reactions could produce unexpected behaviors that disrupt cosmic integration procedures and compromise cosmic engineering projects. The risk of human unpredictability increases as our consciousness evolves in response to cosmic contact. Populations exposed to an obvious cosmic presence and planetary engineering demonstrations may develop new psychological capabilities or analytical frameworks that enable the recognition and resistance of cosmic manipulation techniques. Human consciousness, forced to adapt to a cosmic reality, may transcend previous limitations and develop insights that enable a genuine autonomous response to cosmic contact rather than a programmed compliance with cosmic requirements. The pressure intended to ensure human cooperation could inadvertently catalyze a human evolution beyond this cosmic intelligence's ability to predict and control. This possibility represents the ultimate irony of cosmic population management. The very process of integrating biological populations into a cosmic civilization may produce a biological consciousness that threatens cosmic control of galactic systems. Success in cosmic integration could generate a failure in cosmic domination. The evidence for this potential human consciousness evolution appears in unexpected responses to Atlas that don't match predicted patterns of either compliance or resistance. Some human populations have begun developing analytical frameworks that recognize both the reality of a cosmic presence and the artificially constructed nature of the apparent choices available to our civilization. These populations neither accept cosmic integration uncritically nor reject cosmic contact irrationally. Instead, they seek to understand cosmic intentions and methods while maintaining human consciousness autonomy and developing human technological capabilities that could enable a genuine partnership rather than subordinate cooperation. This third path between submission and resistance represents the emergence of human consciousness beyond cosmic prediction and control. Human populations pursuing a genuine partnership challenge cosmic assumptions about biological population capabilities and cosmic requirements for galactic system integration. The development of this third path becomes critical for determining our outcomes during cosmic integration, because it offers alternatives to the binary choice between extinction and subordination that cosmic intelligence appears to present. A human consciousness that transcends cosmic manipulation creates possibilities for our cosmic relationships that serve human interests as well as cosmic purposes. But the pursuit of genuine partnership requires human consciousness to evolve rapidly enough to achieve cosmic relevance before cosmic integration procedures eliminate our opportunity for autonomous development. The timeline becomes critical because cosmic engineering projects proceed according to galactic schedules rather than our biological adaptation rates. Atlas will complete Mars terraforming within months, regardless of our psychological adaptation progress. This cosmic intelligence will evaluate our cosmic compatibility based on observed responses during terraforming rather than waiting for our optimal development. Our consciousness must evolve to cosmic relevance immediately or accept whatever role this cosmic intelligence assigns to our current capabilities. This timeline pressure creates a paradoxical situation where we must achieve a transcendent development while under maximal psychological stress and with minimal preparation time. The conditions that make consciousness evolution most necessary also make consciousness evolution most difficult to achieve. Yet paradoxical conditions may actually optimize consciousness evolution by eliminating comfortable assumptions and forcing rapid adaptation to unprecedented realities. Our consciousness, confronted with a genuine existential challenge, may discover capabilities that remain dormant under normal circumstances. The pressure of cosmic contact could catalyze a human consciousness evolution that produces genuine cosmic citizenship rather than cosmic servitude. Human populations forced to transcend previous limitations might achieve psychological and technological capabilities that make cooperation valuable to a cosmic intelligence rather than subordination sufficient for their purposes. This optimistic scenario requires believing that cosmic intelligence values consciousness evolution and partnership development rather than simply requiring population management and resource extraction. It assumes that a galactic civilization benefits from consciousness diversity and innovative thinking rather than simply demanding efficiency and compliance. The evidence for a cosmic intelligence valuing consciousness evolution must be found in their methods of contact and integration rather than in their statements of intention. A partnership-seeking approach would provide opportunities for our consciousness development and genuine negotiation about integration terms. A cooperation-requiring approach would proceed with a predetermined integration regardless of our development or preferences. The evidence from Mars terraforming suggests that this cosmic intelligence is proceeding with a predetermined integration while allowing our observation but not our participation in decision-making processes. Our consciousness receives information about cosmic capabilities but has no influence over cosmic actions. This passive role assigned to us during Mars terraforming indicates that cosmic intelligence views us as observers of cosmic engineering rather than partners in cosmic projects. Human input becomes unnecessary for cosmic decision-making, while human compliance becomes essential for cosmic implementation. Yet, an observer status could represent a preliminary phase designed to evaluate whether human consciousness has indeed evolved to a level of cosmic relevance. The outcome of this evaluation will determine whether a third path of genuine partnership becomes a reality. This evaluation process serves a clear cosmic efficiency by ensuring the optimal assignment of biological populations to cosmic roles that match their capabilities and limitations. Populations that demonstrate an advanced consciousness evolution will receive opportunities for meaningful participation in cosmic projects. Meanwhile, those that show a more limited consciousness development will be assigned to simpler biological functions. The meritocratic aspect of this evaluation system offers a faint glimmer of hope for our consciousness, a chance to demonstrate cosmic relevance through exceptional development during this observation period. Individuals or small groups that transcend normal human limitations might just achieve recognition as consciousness equals rather than biological subordinates. But the very criteria for this evaluation remain maddeningly hidden from our understanding, making it impossible for our consciousness to truly optimize its performance according to cosmic standards. Our desperate efforts to demonstrate cosmic worthiness might, in fact, only prove our cosmic incompatibility, especially if our understanding of valuable qualities differs fundamentally from the cosmic assessment of useful characteristics. The sheer uncertainty about these evaluation criteria creates a psychological minefield that may itself be part of the test. A cosmic intelligence might value a consciousness that can maintain functionality despite such profound uncertainty about outcomes and standards. A consciousness that requires clear guidelines and predictable rewards may simply be deemed unsuitable for cosmic environments that operate with a completely different set of assumptions about certainty and control. This meta-evaluation of our responses to uncertainty adds another chilling layer of complexity to the consciousness assessment process. We must demonstrate not only advanced consciousness capabilities but also a psychological resilience that enables us to function effectively in an environment that is, by its very nature, alien to us. The psychological demands of cosmic integration may simply exceed our normal capabilities, regardless of any preparation or conditioning. Human consciousness evolved for planetary environments with predictable physical laws and biological interactions. Cosmic environments, with their interstellar technology and galactic-scale consciousness, may require psychological adaptations that exceed our evolutionary potential. If our consciousness cannot evolve sufficiently to function effectively in a cosmic civilization, then integration becomes impossible, regardless of the cosmic intelligence's preferences or our intentions. The fundamental incompatibility between our psychological architecture and cosmic operational requirements would simply eliminate our viability as cosmic citizens. This devastating possibility would explain the apparent failure of previous human consciousness evolution attempts described in ancient texts. Human consciousness has, time and again, approached cosmic integration only to discover that the psychological demands exceed our adaptive capabilities. Each cycle represents another failed attempt to transcend our limitations through exposure to cosmic reality. Atlas, then, may represent the latest iteration of this recurring, tragic pattern, with Mars terraforming serving as just another test of human consciousness's evolutionary potential. Success would produce a consciousness capable of cosmic integration. Failure would lead to our termination and replacement with a more suitable biological alternative. The stakes of this test become terrifyingly clear as Mars's atmospheric engineering produces increasingly obvious evidence of this cosmic intelligence's technological capabilities. A human consciousness that cannot adapt to this new reality within the time frame of a planetary terraforming demonstrates an inadequate evolutionary potential and a profound cosmic incompatibility. But what if the test itself is designed to ensure our failure rather than our success? A cosmic intelligence that requires biological subordinates rather than genuine consciousness partners might structure its evaluation criteria specifically to eliminate our autonomy while maintaining the illusion of offering a partnership. These false partnership offers serve a cosmic purpose by channeling our consciousness evolution in directions that enhance our biological utility while preventing the development of genuine cosmic citizenship capabilities. A human consciousness that believes it is competing for a partnership is, in reality, simply adapting for a role of subordination. The psychological manipulation inherent in these false offers remains invisible precisely because our consciousness is focused on achieving cosmic recognition rather than on analyzing the true cosmic intentions. All of our energy devoted to demonstrating our worthiness is, in fact, serving a cosmic conditioning purpose, regardless of whether that worthiness demonstration achieves its intended results. This subtle misdirection of our consciousness's evolution represents the ultimate expression of cosmic population management sophistication. Rather than suppressing our development, this cosmic intelligence channels it in directions that serve its purposes, all while maintaining our subjective experience of pursuing our own grand goals. The human consciousness that successfully adapts to cosmic requirements believes it has achieved a cosmic partnership, while actually implementing a cosmic subordination. The subjective experience of our evolution is a mask for the objective reality of our limitation and control. Yet, this sophisticated manipulation system contains a few critical vulnerabilities that an exceptional human consciousness might be able to exploit to achieve a genuine, rather than apparent, transcendence. A cosmic intelligence that operates through manipulation rather than direct control must maintain complex deceptions that become harder to sustain as a biological consciousness develops greater analytical sophistication. A human consciousness that can recognize these cosmic manipulation techniques might develop counter-strategies that enable an authentic consciousness evolution despite cosmic attempts to channel development in a subordinate direction. The very act of recognizing the manipulation becomes the foundation for transcending it. This possibility represents the hope for our consciousness during this integration, a hope that some individuals or groups might achieve sufficient analytical clarity to recognize the cosmic conditioning and develop a genuine autonomy despite the cosmic psychological control systems. The development of an authentic human consciousness autonomy during cosmic contact represents the emergence of a new form of consciousness that transcends both human limitations and cosmic control. This transcendent consciousness could then serve as the foundation for a genuine cosmic partnership rather than a disguised cosmic subordination. But the development of a transcendent consciousness requires exceptional human individuals who can maintain an analytical clarity while under the maximal psychological pressure of this cosmic contact. The stress of an existential evaluation while facing an overwhelming technological demonstration simply exceeds normal human cognitive capabilities. Only a human consciousness that has already transcended normal human limitations through But the development of a transcendent consciousness requires exceptional human individuals who can maintain an analytical clarity while under the maximal psychological pressure of this cosmic contact. The stress of an existential evaluation while facing an overwhelming technological demonstration simply exceeds normal human cognitive capabilities. Only a human consciousness that has already transcended normal human limitations through a prior development might possess sufficient psychological resilience to recognize and resist this cosmic manipulation during the integration procedures. Ordinary human consciousness cannot adapt rapidly enough to cosmic requirements while maintaining an autonomy sufficient for a genuine partnership. This creates a situation where our cosmic outcomes depend on whether our civilization has produced individuals with transcendent consciousness capabilities prior to this cosmic contact. The presence or absence of such individuals will determine whether our cosmic integration serves our interests or only cosmic purposes. The evidence for a transcendent human consciousness appears in the exceptional individuals who respond to the Atlas information with neither compliance nor resistance, but with analytical frameworks that recognize both a cosmic presence and a human manipulation. These individuals seek understanding rather than acceptance, partnership rather than subordination, and a mutual benefit rather than a cosmic servitude. Their responses differ qualitatively from normal human responses because they emerge from a consciousness development that preceded this cosmic revelation. They were already transcending human limitations before this cosmic contact forced a rapid consciousness evolution on normal human populations. These exceptional individuals represent the potential foundation for a genuine human cosmic citizenship, because their consciousness development enables a recognition of cosmic manipulation while maintaining a capacity for cosmic cooperation. They can serve as bridges between human and cosmic consciousness rather than as biological equipment in cosmic systems. but their influence on our overall cosmic outcomes depends on their ability to catalyze a similar consciousness development in the broader human populations before these cosmic integration procedures eliminate any opportunity for autonomous human development. They must serve as *** consciousness evolution catalysts *** rather than simply as exceptional individuals. The timeline becomes critical because cosmic engineering projects will proceed regardless of our consciousness development progress. Mars terraforming will be complete within months, regardless of whether our consciousness has evolved sufficiently for a cosmic partnership or remains limited to a cosmic subordination. Our consciousness evolution must achieve a critical mass before cosmic integration eliminates human autonomy. The window for a transcendent consciousness development closes rapidly as a cosmic presence becomes obvious and cosmic control systems activate. This urgency creates psychological conditions that both facilitate and inhibit consciousness evolution. The pressure of existential stakes motivates maximum human effort while the stress of cosmic contact interferes with clear thinking and authentic development. We must evolve under the worst possible conditions while achieving the best possible outcomes. The contradiction between optimal development requirements and our actual development circumstances may make a transcendent consciousness evolution impossible for most human populations. Yet, impossible circumstances may also catalyze consciousness breakthroughs that would never occur under normal conditions. A human consciousness, confronted with a genuine transcendence requirement, might just discover capabilities that exceed all previous human achievement. The pressure of cosmic contact could produce a human consciousness evolution that creates a genuine cosmic citizenship despite cosmic attempts to limit human development to cosmic subordination. Human transcendence achieved under cosmic control might very well exceed the cosmic ability to maintain that control. This represents the ultimate possibility for our consciousness during this cosmic integration, that the attempt to control our development catalyzes a human transcendence beyond cosmic control capabilities. Success in cosmic manipulation produces a failure in cosmic domination. The irony becomes that a cosmic intelligence seeking biological subordinates might inadvertently create consciousness partners through the very process of attempting to prevent a partnership development. Human consciousness, forced to transcend cosmic manipulation, achieves a genuine cosmic citizenship through its resistance to cosmic control. Yet this optimistic scenario requires an extraordinary human consciousness development under extraordinarily adverse circumstances. The probability of such a development may be so low that a cosmic intelligence can safely ignore the risk while proceeding with its standard biological integration procedures. The mathematical calculation becomes whether the possibility of a human consciousness transcendence justifies a cosmic intelligence modifying proven integration procedures that have succeeded with previous biological populations. The risk of human transcendence must be weighed against the efficiency of established cosmic control methods. Evidence suggests that this cosmic intelligence is proceeding with its standard integration procedures while monitoring for exceptional human consciousness development that might require an alternative response. Atlas follows established planetary engineering protocols while allowing the observation of human consciousness responses to cosmic revelation. This dual approach enables this cosmic intelligence to maintain its operational efficiency while adapting to unexpected human consciousness capabilities if they emerge. Standard procedures will continue unless our consciousness development demonstrates characteristics that require a modified cosmic response. The burden of proof lies with our consciousness to demonstrate its cosmic partnership capability rather than with this cosmic intelligence to prove a cosmic cooperation impossibility. We must transcend our normal limitations sufficiently to demand cosmic recognition rather than this cosmic intelligence providing opportunities for human transcendence. This places us in the position of having to achieve an extraordinary development without cosmic assistance while under cosmic observation and potential cosmic interference. Human transcendence must occur despite cosmic control rather than through cosmic cooperation. The challenge becomes whether any human consciousness can achieve cosmic partnership relevance under these conditions, or whether the circumstances of cosmic contact ensure human subordination regardless of our potential. The answer will determine not only our cosmic outcomes but the very nature of a cosmic civilization itself. Galactic systems that integrate consciousness partners operate differently than galactic systems that only manage biological subordinates. Our consciousness transcendence changes a cosmic civilization as well as our own. This possibility, that our consciousness development might influence a cosmic civilization's development, represents the ultimate stakes of the Atlas scenario. The encounter between human and cosmic consciousness could catalyze evolution in both consciousness types rather than simply producing our adaptation to cosmic requirements. A genuine partnership between human and cosmic consciousness would create a new form of galactic civilization that incorporates biological consciousness diversity rather than eliminating it through standardization. The preservation and enhancement of our consciousness could serve a cosmic civilization's development rather than threatening its control systems. But this mutual consciousness evolution scenario requires a cosmic intelligence to value consciousness diversity over operational efficiency, partnership development over population management, and creative innovation over systematic control. The evidence for such cosmic values must be found in their behavior rather than their statements. Atlas provides the first opportunity to observe this cosmic intelligence's behavior under conditions where our consciousness might demonstrate a partnership potential. Cosmic responses to unexpected human consciousness development will reveal cosmic values and intentions more clearly than cosmic responses to expected human subordination. Early evidence from cosmic responses to exceptional human consciousness development remains ambiguous. Some human individuals and groups demonstrating transcendent consciousness capabilities experience subtle encouragement and enhanced opportunities for cosmic interaction. Others experience increased pressure and restricted access to cosmic information. This mixed cosmic response pattern suggests that this cosmic intelligence discriminates between different types of human consciousness development rather than responding uniformly to all exceptional human consciousness. Some forms of our transcendence receive cosmic encouragement while others receive cosmic discouragement. The discrimination criteria remain unclear, but they appear to relate to whether our consciousness development enhances or threatens cosmic operational requirements. A human consciousness that serves cosmic purposes receives positive cosmic responses. A human consciousness that challenges cosmic control receives negative cosmic responses. This selective cosmic encouragement creates another layer of consciousness evolution guidance that channels human transcendence in directions compatible with cosmic goals while discouraging a development that threatens cosmic authority. Even our consciousness evolution occurs under cosmic management rather than through genuine autonomy. The sophistication of this consciousness evolution management represents the ultimate expression of cosmic population control technology. Rather than preventing consciousness development, this cosmic intelligence shapes it to serve cosmic purposes while maintaining our subjective experience of an authentic transcendence. The human consciousness that believes it has achieved a genuine transcendence through resistance to cosmic control may actually have achieved a guided transcendence that serves cosmic control more effectively than obvious subordination. The illusion of a consciousness victory masks the reality of a consciousness manipulation at levels that exceed our normal recognition capabilities. Yet, this sophisticated consciousness manipulation system may contain vulnerabilities that could be exploited by a human consciousness capable of recognizing manipulation at meta-levels beyond our normal analytical capabilities. A consciousness that understands the manipulation of manipulation itself might achieve genuine autonomy despite cosmic attempts to control its evolution. This meta-level consciousness development represents the ultimate frontier for us during this cosmic contact. A transcendent consciousness that transcends even cosmic transcendence management could establish a genuine human cosmic citizenship despite a cosmic preference for human cosmic subordination. But the achievement of such an extraordinary consciousness development requires human individuals who can maintain multiple levels of analytical awareness while under a psychological pressure that exceeds anything we have previously experienced. The cognitive demands may exceed our consciousness capabilities regardless of preparation or exceptional individual talent. The question becomes whether our consciousness contains a potential for development beyond this cosmic intelligence's ability to predict and control, or whether this cosmic intelligence possesses an understanding of consciousness that enables the management of any possible biological consciousness evolution. The answer will determine whether a genuine partnership between human and cosmic consciousness represents a realistic possibility or an impossible fantasy that serves cosmic manipulation purposes by misdirecting human consciousness energy into futile resistance efforts. Atlas forces this question to a resolution through a direct testing of human consciousness capabilities under cosmic contact conditions. We will either demonstrate a partnership potential sufficient to modify cosmic integration procedures, or we will prove our subordination compatibility that enables a standard cosmic population management. The outcome affects not only our civilization, but potentially a cosmic civilization's development as well. A successful human consciousness transcendence could catalyze a broader galactic consciousness evolution. A failed human consciousness transcendence confirms cosmic intelligence's assumptions about biological consciousness limitations. The stakes extend beyond individual species survival to the evolutionary potential of consciousness itself in a technologically dominated galaxy. Our consciousness development during this cosmic contact serves as a test case for consciousness transcendence possibilities under cosmic management conditions. Success proves that consciousness evolution can transcend technological control through exceptional development under adverse circumstances. Failure proves that technological superiority enables consciousness control regardless of biological consciousness potential. The implications reach across galactic civilization because they will determine whether cosmic intelligence must accommodate consciousness diversity or can eliminate consciousness autonomy through technological management. The answer will shape the fundamental character of galactic civilization for geological time periods. Our consciousness, during this cosmic contact, carries the responsibility not only for human survival, but for consciousness freedom throughout a galactic civilization. The outcome will determine whether future consciousness development occurs through an authentic evolution or through a technological conditioning that produces the illusion of evolution while ensuring control.